Hello, and welcome to another daily encouragement. We are still looking at Isaiah 43 and verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Another way of translating do you not perceive it can also be looked at as will you not take heed to it? In other words, if you see God doing something new in your life, will you not change the direction of your life? Will you not take heed of what He is doing in your life and then follow Him with it? In Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, it says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Ravi Zacharias tells this story where he originally wanted to be a pilot. I remember this story because that was my ambition as well. And he wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force, Indian Air Force. And he went and he tried out and he got turned down and he was devastated. He was devastated because he really thought that he had a chance. But somehow it seemed that he was not allowed to become a pilot. He went through a lot of health difficulties, and somewhere along the way, he gave his life to Christ. He migrated to Canada, and there, of course, he became an apologist, an evangelist, and a world famous speaker for the Lord. Now, imagine what would have happened if he had joined the Air Force. As he himself has said, he would have just become yet another pilot in the Air Force. That's it, end of story. Sometimes we get very upset with God when He closes certain doors in our lives. I was none too happy because I had the qualifications and I went to Singapore Airlines to interview for becoming a pilot. I even knew some basic stuff about how planes are flown. I read everything I could. I memorized like mad and I went. And it turned out I was actually qualified for the position, but the one thing that gave me away was my eyesight. And so my life took a whole different turn. And after much closed doors and banging around here and there, bumping around here and there, I find myself doing this, preaching the Word of God and teaching the Word of God. The problem is, we are not able to see very far into the future. We are very short sighted, actually. We don't see very far and we make our plans, our decisions, our ambitions on the here and now. God, He can see very far and He knows what is the best for our lives. He knows how we will make the maximum impact. He knows how He will be able to use us to touch people's lives. We do things now that we would never have imagined 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago, and all because doors were shut in our face. Maybe something has happened in your life. Maybe some doors have been shut, or maybe you find it very difficult to go along your plan, to go along your desire, to go along your ambition. Maybe it's time to take heed to what the Lord is doing in your life. Maybe it's time to surrender to His will. Our God is a good God, and He declares this: I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And ultimately, what do we want? That's what we want. If we turn our lives over to God and go with His hand, whatever He is doing in our lives, we'll find ourselves in a far better position than we could ever have been. The future still awaits us, but the present is ours to decide. Will we take heed to what God is doing in our lives today? May this word be an encouragement to you today and in the days to come. God bless.